Growing Deer TV is brought to you by Reconics, Eagle Seed, Medalist, Muddy Outdoors, Real Tree, Trophy Rock, Micro Leverage, and Cabela's.
Well, I want to introduce you to my rifle season hunt for the year 2009 at the Proving Grounds. The Proving Grounds, of course, is where I live, next to Branson, Missouri. We call it the Proving Grounds because it's so rough and rocky and hilly. Elevation changes 400 feet 7 times. We can't disc anything, it's literally too rocky, we just no-till drill. Basically, if any management technique will work here, it'll probably work anywhere. And for my rifle season hunt in 2009, my objective was a mature buck, 4.5 years old or older. Antler size was irrelevant. If you've got 34 neighbors like I do here at the Proving Grounds and all the things going against you, getting a deer 4.5 years old and old is a huge success story, irregardless of Boone and Crockett's score. Brad and I had selected a stand for this day that's facing southeast. The front had just passed and we had a southeast wind coming in, hitting us right on the nose. We're overlooking a food plot where there were previously beans, and we mowed some of them down. You see some beans in the background, and now we've got our wheat, clover, brassica blend in front of us. But more importantly, it's a travel corridor. We're just off the side of what we call an elevator ridge. Elevator ridge simply goes from a lowland to a higher area. It's an easy or path of least resistance for a deer to travel. So we're placed on the northwest side of an elevator ridge with a southeast wind, sun coming up. Sunrise at November 19th. Beautiful day. A front has passed during the night. We've got the wind in our face, and we expect the deer to be coming from this way. There's some big feeding fields in the bottom, big for this part of the world, and they're coming up here to bed. There's some bedding areas prepared behind us. So we've got the wind in our face and the deer moving to us, we think. So it should be a great morning. And not too long after, we heard some deer grunting and walking way behind the stand in the woods. We were watching this food plot and a bedding area right behind us. And the deer apparently were in the bedding area and somebody chased them out, but we had 2 button bucks, 2 6-month-old males and a 6-month-old female and a yearling buck, a 6-pointer, come up and mill around for a long time. The yearling 6-year-old buck, he's chasing this young female fawn around that apparently was receptive. I'm watching, and finally, about 50 yards away, I saw some more movement and caught an antler glint in the trees. I said, man, what a morning we had. It was just awesome. Beautiful sunrise, fog off in the valley over the creek. We had deer in front of us, couldn't move much. And I told the cameraman, Brad, I said, Brad, just stay on a deer here because they were scraping and using a mineral lick and walking in front of a Reconyx camera and not spooking at all. I mean, just all kinds of great information going on in front of us. Stayed on them and we're watching, and finally this guy appeared. What I'm guessing on a field-aged 3.5-year-old buck. I've looked at his body, of course, ran my finger on his teeth and looked in there best you can without cutting it. 3.5-year-old 7-pointer come out that had a busted up back leg. And with the busted up back leg 7.3-year-old, that's a mature animal and a deer. I'd rather let that yearling 6-pointer eat more and grow. He's off to a great start in life. And let this boy be go in our freezer and stop consuming groceries out here. We're deer with a little bit more potential. That's not saying culling. Culling is something totally different. This was an individual selection. I made a choice of letting that great yearling grow and express his potential and remove this deer from the herd for my family's freezer and the enjoyment of the hunt. Just a tremendous morning. So we're guessing he's 3.5. We'll know pretty soon. Basal circumference is a good indicator of age, and if it's bigger in the eye, as you can see it is, it's usually 3.5. It's got a little bit of a buffalo shape going on, and that busted up leg sealed the deals. So at the end of the hunt, we've got a great 3.5-year-old buck, not our target 4-year-old, but a 3.5-year-old that clearly had a broken leg at some point in the past, had a current infection, and at 3.5 years old, he's only displaying 7 points. Now we know that antler shape and size can change with age, but by 3.5, they're usually a representation of what they've got going for the future. And I made the choice to take the mouth out that was not showing as much potential and leave the other mouth out there consuming 4-H and passing on his genetics that's showing huge potential. Remember, one deer does not change the genetics of any deer herd. But when a hunter is faced with a choice, just put the odds in your favor. It was a great hunt. Great meat for the freezer, great memories. Thanks for joining us on GrowingDeer.tv.